Hey guys, Styx here again, and I am back with Mythic Heroes. Today I'm going to be giving an overview and a first kind of look at the brand new 1.18.0 update, because I think it is a big deal. I think it's going to mean a lot of different things for a lot of different people. What you decide to do with it is going to be totally up to you, but I'm going to kind of go over everything, give my first opinions, first thoughts, all of that. So the first thing, of course, is the new hero, Prometheus. So if I go into here, I can give a quick overview of his kit. So basically his ultimate will spew a bunch of these tinders around the field to a bunch of different allies and enemies. It will debuff enemies and will buff allies when they have it. And then all of his other skills are, I believe all of them are active. Yeah, all of his skills are active, so he has no passives. And each of them increases their own effect or their own damage based on if the opponent or if the enemy has a tinder on them. So you can see that it will consume one stack, expanding from single target to area of effect for this particular one. It will stun with this one, and then it will area of effect with this one as well. So it increases his power overall with his full kit if you have tinders on enemies, and that increases up to 14 at level 4. He looks decent on paper. In my testing, which has been granted very, very minimal though thus far. I've been doing the cosmic trials where you have to use him. He doesn't seem great. I tried to substitute my Lucifer for him in the cosmic trials. It didn't seem that he was really doing enough damage at all. But I could just totally be missing something. Maybe he just isn't built up as well with like equipment and divinity and iconic weapons and all that. So maybe that's all it is, but that's the basic hero event. We already know what this is like. If you don't and you're new to the game, just take a look here. I mean, we have some trials. These are just some playable missions. We have check-in event, hero evolution. So if you get more copies of him and level him up, it will give you extra rewards. Divine treasure, same kind of thing. You get some stuff from check-in event to let you do that. And then the exclusive store, which gives you more stuff for all of it. So yeah, that's kind of a brief overview there. Now, probably the biggest thing is going to be after this. So first things first, we have a new Ragnarok kind of situation here. So you can see we have Dragon Trove, Sinful Abyss, Clash of Heroes, and the Merchant Ship. All of these are new to the area as like almost constant things. So first off, Dragon Troves are now a rotating event, so it's going to be more common. Same thing with Clash of Heroes. If you don't know what Clash of Heroes is, it is a kind of card draft-based pack opening game, mini-game, where you can obtain different heroes of different levels and all that, and then you can put together a team to try to defeat the enemy team. You get a new pack every time. It's pretty fun. And then we have the Sinful Abyss, which is brand new with this update. So I am not super sure about how this works quite yet. I think I have a decent grasp. So basically you have one or two bosses here, and they have a specific moveset. They all do different things, of course, and you will have to fight both of them at the same time. You want to do as much damage as possible in the 90-second allotted time. If you go over to this little icon over here, it will show you the requirements. So this is where this game mode differs from the others, because you are required to have this formation, and you are required to have this specific faction in this slot, this one in this slot, and so on. So for this one, you have to use 3 Luminarchs, 1 Shadow Arc, and 1 Guardian. Usually that's not going to be so bad. And of course, URs, since they're dual type, can fit multiple different roles if need be. And then you just want to do as much damage as possible without dying in that 90-second time. Then you will obtain, depending on how much damage you do, you will obtain a rank. So if I go up to here, you can see all the different rewards for ranking. The leaderboard obviously has like the highest ranked people and all that, and that went all the way out. Okay, give me just a second. But yeah, so it'll give you rewards depending on how well you do. You click at the leaderboard, it brings you to there. It also gives you guild loot for how good your guild does, which is pretty nice, honestly. I think this is a great thing. We are currently in Gold 5, so we will be receiving, theoretically, at the end of this, 4,400 diamonds. I don't know if this is a piece. Yeah, every guildmate will receive a random number of diamonds. I'm not entirely sure what that means. I guess we'll find out in like an hour and a half when it is when it ends. But yeah, so this seems to be an interesting it's sort of kind of a rehash, but it does incorporate different things from different parts of the game into one distilled game mode, which is kind of cool. And then, of course, we have the merchant ship, which just combines all the shops of all the different Valhalla things into one, which is really handy. And they have a bunch of new items here, as you can see. I will get to those in, again, just a second. You can see pure fire essence, that's new. Wood essence and pure wood essence, yes. So this ties directly into my next point, which is the iconic weapon overhaul. This is probably the best thing to come out of an update in this game in some months. So first off, we have a little bit of an updated UI for this, so it's no longer as obtrusive and like brown, so you can actually see the character behind it all, which is kind of nice. Same thing applies to Divinity, and then the weapon UI is going to look very different. Again, they've done away with that kind of nasty brown color, and they've just replaced it with a shadow, basically. And the iconic weapon, now the abilities, the different ticks for it, are now down here on this. So you have to click on this to find what the different abilities do. Each SSR and UR in the game has also obtained a 500 and 600 iconic weapon level bonus. So for Lucifer here, we have it deals an additional 100% damage to its targets and nearby enemies when using fallen stars. And then as a fallen angel, which is going to happen literally every single game, he gets an extra 50% physical cleave and 50% breakthrough. This, I think, is a huge standout one for me. I read all of the ones for all the SSR and URs in the game, except for Prometheus, because he just came out and I don't have him yet. And this looks like one of the better ones that I've seen. And remember, every single usable hero has that. So to get to the 500 attribute level, you do have to go through your divinity, just like you did before. So you can come all the way down to the bottom here, and you have these two, which will give you extra iconic weapon attribute limits, which will let you reach that 500 limit before doing anything else. So then, if you want to go beyond 500, which this is a new thing, if you want to reach the iconic weapon level 600, which is where you get that extra crazy bonus, you have to go into here, which is a brand new system. So the first thing you're going to see is colors. We have colors of circles around the thing. We also have a level down here. So first things first, you unlock this part of the weapon, which requires a specific new material that I can't remember the name of right now. I think it's elemental crystals. And then it allows you to enhance things like this. So first thing you're going to notice is the level here. That can be increased with that essence I was talking about. So each hero has a different element that they're attributed. For Lucifer, it is fire, so I needed to obtain fire essence to level up his iconic weapon thing here itself. I was able to get it to level 5, and as you hit different level milestones, it will unlock more of these. And what these are is they are different bonuses with different colors that give you different effects. So if I go up into here, I can't tell if this is fighter or fire attribute specific, but it seems to be that it's not just hero specific, it is type specific of some sort, where basically the more of a single color you have, the greater the bonus that you'll get from it is. So as you can see here, I've opted for red. So if you have 2 of them, it'll increase your lifesteal by 4.5% if your HP is below 50%. Which helps him stay alive, and that increases up to 13.5, and then 36% if you're able to get all red. And then, of course, all of these have different ones as well, and for your specific hero, you want to go in and check that for yourself, and decide which one you think will work best for you. But basically how this works is like a lot of other gacha games, where you have a reroll system. So you can go into here, and then you can refine and auto-refine up to 10, and that will change the color, the stat itself, and the number of ticks here. The higher the number of ticks, the more of that bonus will be given. So you can see I have this exact same thing on both of these. This has 3 ticks versus this, which has 6. The 3-tick one has 4% defense percentage, and the 6-tick one has 9.4. So it's entirely RNG based what you get. This I am not so sure about yet, because I feel like that could be a bit of a cash grab, but I don't know, we'll see. And you can also go into here and you can filter what you want, which is really nice. You can also filter what rating you want, at least as a minimum. So you can filter what colors you want, what specific stats you want, and then of course what rating you want. And then you can auto refine, and it'll go until it gets specifically what you asked for in here, which is kind of nice. I do appreciate that they are paying attention to detail like that. And then if you want to lock specific portions, I think you can do this for each individual one. Yes, you can lock or unlock the refinement for it, so that you don't like mess up accidentally and ruin something for yourself. And then you can get more bonuses as you go. This is going to be an absolutely enormous deal for increasing the power level of your heroes. Also, it should be noted that with each level increase of the weapon itself down here, you will also obtain a kind of a breakthrough for the attribute limit, which is where the whole 600 iconic weapon level comes in. So it will break through an extra 5 on, I think it might be random and it might be set. I don't exactly know. I've only done it with one hero. But it will increase the cap for each of these, depending on what the hero is, of course, as you level this up. Once you get past a certain point, though, and this is an interesting thing, I think it's 130 is the maximum that you could do beforehand, but once you hit that specific maximum, you'll notice it no longer takes the red soul seals, it will take these, which are infinity soul seals. From what I can see, these are very difficult to come by. The only place I've found them so far, I know it says Jade Market, but if you look in the Bloodlust Market, it costs 500 blood crystals, which was the more premium currency that you got from the Sinful Abyss if you saw earlier. So I would guess you're probably going to be able to get one of these every 3 or 4 days, if you do well. And that's kind of rough. That's quite the grind when I need 10 of them just to get it up to 135, right? And if that increases at all as I continue to level this up, that's going to be even more. So I feel like that might be a bit paywall-y. And this is just for one hero, by the way. So I feel like that might be just a little bit greedy. But I don't know. I guess we'll have to see how it pans out moving forward. But that's basically how the system works. You got your orbs, you got the different colors, different ratings, different bonuses. And then, of course, you can get that uber awesome bonus. So that was one of the standouts. I do want to mention a couple other really good 500 and 600 iconic weapon level bonuses that stood out to me as really, really good. One of them being Marduk. So if you don't know Marduk and how his kit works, basically he goes into Warlord form. He's basically invincible, and then he just sticks around for absolutely forever. And his ultimate does damage based on the amount of health the enemy has. So if the enemy's on one health, it'll deal 1500% of his attack as damage. And then if it kills an enemy, it instantly refreshes itself. So usually it takes 3 people dying on the battlefield for his warlord form to be entered. This makes it so it's only 2, which is already quite good for this specific hero. But then this is where things start to get really, really good. In his warlord form, so once 2 heroes have died on the battlefield, he will always do his maximum damage when releasing God of Warfare, which, if you don't know, is the name of his ultimate. So that 1500% damage is going to be dealt every single time he releases his ultimate from that point on, which was one of the biggest things holding him back as a DPS. So I think this is an enormous change, and I think this is going to see increased Marduk play kind of across the board, but I don't know yet. We'll have to see, just like with anything in here. And then finally, the Oda Nobunaga change is absolutely insane. So all of these were already there before. If you hadn't read them, you can read them now. You can read them whenever you like. They just increase stats and things for when he uses his ultimate and all that stuff. But then we have a couple of new ones. So the 500 one, after each time Sakura Blade is used, which is one of his active skills, He will increase his attack speed by 50% and will be immune to control skills for 5 seconds. So this increases his attack, protects him in one skill, and that's already good enough. But then we have maybe the most broken thing I've ever seen in my life. When the Demon Lord is summoned by releasing his ultimate, which is his whole shtick, every subsequent time when he uses his auto attack or an active skill, every single time, his damage dealt will be increased by an additional 4%. This effect will stack with no limit until the Demon Lord disappears. When Oda releases his ultimate, he almost never actually loses his Demon Lord. He's always getting energy from somewhere, which makes it basically impossible for him to not be dealing full damage, and it ramps up over time now. This is going to be absolutely bonkers moving forward. I have absolutely no doubt. That is maddening. So yeah, and I know all of those standouts were UR heroes. I do apologize about that. That's just what I saw. But then outside of that, we had a couple of hero buffs. I can't exactly remember. I think Archimedes got a decent buff. Aphrodite got a buff. She's down here, so you can actually use her as a healer that's decent now. And then I think Chiron got a buff, and Morrigan got a buff, which is nice. Really happy about that, or at least a bug fix. I'm still working. I'm getting close. I'm getting close to having her fully leveled, which is nice. But yeah, that is the basic overview of the new update. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Do you think this is actually a good update? Do you think it's kind of mediocre? What are your thoughts about all the different changes, all the new heroes, all the event situation, the new iconic weapon system, what you think about that? Let me know. Feel free to like, subscribe, do all of that if you please. And yeah, thank you for watching, and I will see you guys whenever I do another one of these.